So what if I told you that the reality you live in every single day isn't real? What if it's a cage, a mental cage that you yourself built? In this explainer, we're not just going to talk about that idea. We're going to give you the actual keys to unlock it. First, though, let's get a sense of just how big these prison walls really are.
Okay, get this. Every second of every day, your brain is getting hit with an absolutely insane amount of information. We're talking 400 billion bits of data from the world around you. Every sound, every single thing you see, every sensation, it's all just pouring in.
But here's the part that will blow your mind. Out of that massive flood, that 400 billion bits, your conscious mind, the part of you that's listening to me right now, only processes about 2,000. No, that is not a typo. It's a filtering system so extreme it's almost unbelievable.
And that leads to a pretty huge question, doesn't it? If you're only consciously aware of this tiny, tiny fraction of what's actually available, what in the world are you missing? What reality is your brain just choosing to delete second by second?
Well, the answer is a bit of a bombshell. We are literally building our own reality. You see, we're not actually navigating the world as it is, we're navigating our memory of the world. We're living inside this closed loop, an echo chamber built entirely from our past experiences and our old, outdated conditioning.
So, and this is the most important part, these walls aren't made of bad luck. They're not made of your circumstances. They are built from one single thing, and one thing only, your attention. Where you consistently, day in and day out, place your focus, that's what determines the exact shape and size of your cage. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds a little bit like philosophy, right? But here's where it gets really wild. There are actual mechanics behind this, and we can look to the strange, mind-bending rules of quantum physics to understand how our reality gets built. You see, in the quantum world, things are weird. A particle doesn't really exist in any one specific place until someone or something observes it. Before that, it's what they call a wave function. It's literally just a cloud of pure, infinite possibilities. It's only when an observer looks that all that potential collapses into one single, concrete reality.
And that right there, that's a perfect metaphor for what we do every single day. Think about it. When you wake up, and the very first thing you think about are your problems, your bills, your stress at work, that argument you had, you are being that quantum observer. You are taking the infinite potential of a brand new day and collapsing it down into the exact same reality as yesterday. You're not just observing your problems, you are literally recreating them with your attention.
Okay, but if it's all just about where we put our thoughts, why is it so ridiculously hard to change? This question leads us to the biggest reveal of this entire explainer. It turns out, your mind isn't the only thing you're up against. There's a much deeper, much more powerful force that's keeping you stuck.
Come on, we've all been there, right? You try to think positive thoughts, you say affirmations, you use all your willpower to not worry, but within an hour, you're right back in that same old loop of stress and anxiety. Why does it feel like such an uphill battle?
And here's the answer. We keep trying to fix a hardware problem using software. We focus on changing the mind, but we totally forget that the body, the machine itself, has been programmed. The real reason you're stuck is because your biology has literally become addicted to your past self. Let's just walk through this cycle, because it's fascinating. It all starts with a single thought. Let's say you're worried about money. Your brain immediately releases stress chemicals like cortisol. Now, the cells in your body have little receptors that these chemicals plug into, and over time, your cells get used to this daily dose of stress. They actually become addicted to it. So the moment you try to feel good or think a positive thought, your cells literally start going into withdrawal. They send a signal back up to your brain that says, hey, where's our fix of cortisol? And that is the sudden, overwhelming urge to start worrying again. It's not a lack of willpower. You're fighting a very real physical addiction.
So how in the world do you break a cycle that powerful? Well, the answer isn't to fight it head-on. That's a losing battle. The answer is to change your entire operating system. It's about shifting from that narrow, problem-focused state into a state of wide-open awareness and accessing a place of pure potential that we can call the void. So to get there, you gotta understand the difference between focus and awareness. Think of focus like a laser beam. It's powerful, it's precise, but it only lights up one tiny little spot. It separates that one thing from everything else. Awareness, on the other hand, that's like a light bulb. It just fills the entire room. It's this inclusive, expansive state where you stop staring at your thoughts and you start to just rest in the quiet, peaceful space between your thoughts.
And the way you make this shift is by literally slowing down your brain waves.
See, most of us spend our days in high beta, that's survival mode, stress, anxiety. The goal is to consciously slow down, moving through alpha, which is the state of light relaxation and imagination, and into theta. Theta is the grand prize. It's that hypnotic, dreamlike state where your analytical mind finally shuts up and you can get direct access to your subconscious operating system to install new programs.
And when you reach that deep, coherent state of theta, you arrive at what's called the void. And trust me, it's not empty. It is the quantum field. It's the source of everything. You enter this state of pure consciousness where you are no one, no thing, nowhere in no time. And it's here, in this place, that you can finally disconnect from the biology of your past and plug directly into the infinite energy of creation itself.
Okay, great. But you can't just stay in meditation all day, right? The real magic, the real test, is what happens when you open your eyes. How do you bring that calm, creative, powerful frequency back into the chaotic world of traffic jams and deadlines and difficult people?
The advanced technique here is something called dual awareness. It's about splitting your attention 50-50. You keep half of your awareness on the outside world. You're driving the car, you're in the meeting, you're typing the email. But you keep the other 50% of your awareness anchored internally, in that quiet, spacious field of potential you found in your meditation. You learn how to be in the world without being consumed by the world.
And honestly, this is the masterstroke. Because your old reality, the one filled with problems and stress, it runs on a feedback loop. It actually feeds on your emotional reactions. So when you refuse to give it that energy, when you meet the chaos of your day with this unshakable inner stillness, you starve the old reality. It has no choice. It has to begin to rearrange itself to match your new, powerful internal frequency.
Now look, getting inspired by all this is amazing, but inspiration has a really short shelf life. It evaporates. If you want to make this change permanent, if you want to make sure you don't just slip right back into the old program by 9 a.m. tomorrow, you need a system, a disciplined, non-negotiable protocol. So here it is, the 4-step plan to make this real. First, radical metacognition. This just means you become the watcher of your thoughts. You notice them come and go without getting tangled up in their drama. Second, the stop mechanism. The moment you catch yourself in a familiar negative loop, you mentally shout, "Stop." It's a pattern interrupt that short-circuits the old wiring. Third, the pivot. Right after you say stop, you immediately pivot your attention to the physical space around you. Feel your hands, notice the light in the room. This yanks you right back into the present moment. And fourth, and this one's a game changer, morning priming. Before you check your phone, before you even get out of bed, spend 5 minutes rehearsing the feeling of your new self. Prime your mind and body for the amazing day you want to have, not the stressful one you expect. So when you boil it all down, it really comes to this. The cage was never locked by your boss or your past or your bank account. It was locked by your attention. The key has been in your hand this entire time, and right now, the door is standing wide open. The only question left is, are you going to walk through it, or are you just going to keep staring at the wall?